Hey guys, back. Trying to hold this straight. See if we can get this one to turn out right. Been using the laser cutter quite heavily. Turns out there's practically nothing you can't cut with it. So I've been playing around with a few projects. So last time I gave you kind of the quickie preview of some of the stuff that I'm doing. This time we'll go into a little bit more detail. So, turn the camera around and alright, see if you can see that one. You probably remember that one. That's the acrylic bolter that I had built. This is kind of the prototype for it, and a lot of the detail doesn't really show up there. That way you'll probably be able to see some of it. They've got all the symbols on it and everything else. You know, turned out pretty good. One problem with the acrylic is, number one, it's heavy. Number two, it's not really that durable. So, I mean, this is a great piece if I want to display it, but to actually carry it around or do anything with, you know, it kind of falls short. Plus, as a few people have mentioned, the square magazine just doesn't look right. It just didn't really fit. This one I'm probably going to finish off, though, still. I'm going to go ahead and attach the handle to it, get it painted out, and it's going to basically sit on the shelf as a display piece. So, what did we move on to? Well, wood. That's the same design. This time around I went through and went to a square magazine, as you can see here, and actually cut the handle out as well. So I'll try and get in closer, see if you can see it. But there's a grooved checkerboard pattern, you can probably hear that. And filled some putty into this area, which I still need to sand a little bit to clean it up a little. But it's all wood. A little bit different design than the other one. The other one I had a band, a wooden band that comes, or a plastic band that comes around the trim piece. On this one I didn't do that. This one is actually all wood as well, from the handle, all the knobs and stuff on it, everything is wood. I even did something a little different with the barrel, in that I did a double wall barrel. So it actually looks like it's thicker rather than before when you look down the barrel you got to see it kind of, the walls went away. This one I actually used two different size couplers. I think I used a 1 inch and like an 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches couplers to give it a thicker appearance. Also, I am cutting a piece of plastic that's grooved to fit inside this little piece so it'll look like the rifling on it. That's kind of the last little piece I have to add to this one before it's ready for paint. Haven't decided which chapter I'm going to do this one, or if I'm even going to do it for a chapter. I may just do it as just a generic, probably put a nameplate or something along here. I don't know. We'll see how that one turns out. And, you know, continuing with the Space Marine theme, I did that. This is a EVA foam shoulder pad. So this is a life-size Space Marine shoulder pad. Actually, this one is slightly undersized. Made this one a little bit small, as this was the first one that I was doing, and I wanted to make sure that the project would actually work. Let me sit down. There we go. But yeah, basically took the Pepakura design, did some minor modifications to it, dumped them out as scalable vector graphic files, popped them in Illustrator, did a little bit more manipulation with them, and next thing you know, they were on the laser cutter being cut out. The entire cut time for this was like 10 minutes. And I was actually able to get it down to very few pieces. I think there was, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 major pieces, as opposed to with the regular Pepakura design, it's like a bunch of small pieces you have to glue together. And the limitation on it was when pieces started to overlap, or where I actually got larger than what the machine could handle. Turned out pretty well. You can see right here where when I was gluing this piece together, I ended up not lining it up as good as it could have been, but that's okay. But as far as for a test one, this one I've now got to put, I've still got to put the back brace in. So this back section back here, it's still a little floppy. You can see that it's still, that I can bend it together. And what I'm going to do is actually cut a wooden hoop for the inside on both pieces, which will reinforce it, because this is going to be a piece that I'm going to then coat and finish painting up, and it's just going to be a wall hanging piece. So I'll finish it up, and it'll be something that'll hang on the wall, similar to the towel one that I've been working on. I've actually got a towel one sitting on the paint bench now, just waiting for me to finish it up. Other things that I did, I fired up the laser cutter again, and I started doing little things like this, just little markers. So it's a little ultramarine marker, and of course, soul drinkers. Got to do those guys. Little Templar one. Also did them in a clear acrylic, which looks really good. I'm trying to get this one up here. Can't show you that yet. It's in a clear acrylic, but I could also do them in colored acrylic, so I'm playing around with them. It's just more of me playing around with stuff. Of course, I did some towel ones. This was done in a white acrylic. What other shapes did I have in here? Oh yeah, probably recognize that one. See if I can hold it still. That is a space wolf, and I wish it would focus a little bit better. The hard part of doing a space wolf one is there's actually a little spot for the mouth. The problem is that piece ends up really, really thin, and it breaks off or burns off in the design, so I'll have to play around with the space wolf one to get it down to this size. But I mean, you're talking about something that's less than an inch tall, or about an inch, inch and a half tall. So you're not dealing with a very thin piece. I forget who these guys are. What is it? Dark Angels, if I remember correctly. Theirs turned out really good. I did it in acrylic. And what else do I have? What else do I have hiding here? I also did the Dark Angels in wood, and that turned out really good. Yeah, these are a little charred. So that's what the black is, because I basically cranked the laser power up about 10% higher than it needed to be. I wasn't really too worried about it. I was just doing some tests with it. Let's see, can I still find, yeah, there's the acrylic wolf, which looks okay, but what other stuff do I have hiding in here? Of course, the Templar. But to give you an idea of how big some of these really are, so that's the ultramarine symbol one that I did. And that is a standard issue US dime. Yeah. It's that kind of small. So I mean, you can do some pretty tight designs. I also did them bigger. I'll give you an idea. That's a tau symbol, and the circle in it is the same size as a dime. What other stuff do I have in here? I think I showed these before. That's there we go, get that up there. Freebooter pirate coin, which turned out kind of neat. And of course, a bigger ultramarine symbol. And is there anything else hiding in here? Oh yeah. Little teeny tiny ultramarine symbol. Yeah. Did it more just to see what I could do than anything else. And then there's that thing, but that'll get its own video. I'll talk about that one in a minute. So, come back to myself. So, that's what I've been doing. Been playing around with the laser cutter, having a little bit of fun. Who knows? We'll see what comes up next. Talk to you guys later. Bye.